G'day and welcome to my garage. So I just need to mount an arbor for the blanks and a arbor for the cutting tool. I do have a short arbor for the cutting tool, but that's its problem. It's too short. It won't reach across this gap. This is the arbor I made for cutting the lathe pulley, tooth belt lathe pulley. Everything was down a lot lower and everything was a lot smaller, and I had a simple indexing jig, so this worked out okay. But the problem I have with doing these pulley blanks is that well, the biggest blank is 5 inch, 125 millimeters, thereabouts. So, and I've got a lot more teeth. I've got 20, 30, 40 and 50 teeth to cut. So, and I've also made a dividing head. Ta-da! So, the dividing head's mounted and I've got about 60 mil gap there, which means the shaft's got to be about another 100 millimeters longer. About 80 millimeters longer than what that little one is. Now I can't bring, of course that comes over to there. I haven't got a collet in there at the moment. If you see the cutter is close to the collet, and I can't move the table over far enough because of the motor housing. Said motor housing, because at the present moment you may be able to see that the dividing head is past the motor housing. Now that won't be so much of a problem because it's this side closer to the camera. It will pass the motor housing, but if I get too much closer, when the wheel goes, when this all goes down for the smaller one, this will start to foul. This is the brake. This will start to foul the bearing housing up the top here. So I can't go much. I can go a little bit more, but not the 60 millimeters to fill this gap, bring this over. Tail stand will just follow over, that's not a problem. Now another problem I have, can't see it because the dividing head is on, but if you make a line between the edge of the work table here and that motor housing, there's about 40 millimeters clearance. So which means I can only move this over 40 millimeters, otherwise the work table will smack up against that motor housing. So the motor and the motor housing need to go. I originally had a smaller motor on this. It was 160 mil smaller. It came out of a wood lathe, but it burnt out, and the motor I got in there now is one I had sitting around. It's 3/4 horse, so it had to go in, but being so big, it has caused me some problems. So one day after I finish the pulleys, and the pulleys go up the top here somewhere. Where is it? There it is. Pulleys go in there. I will mount the motor on top of this frame. I will mount the motor on top, and then I can lower that frame down, shorten the back legs. Anyhow, so much for that. I don't know if I mentioned, I've ordered a piece of rod to make that, some 25mm rod. So hopefully in 4 or 5 days' time I will have that. Then I will spend a lovely time making a square hole. I remember that one took a fair while, so I'm not happy. All right, let's at least set this up ready for the arbor when it comes and gets made. I've start again. I've machined a blank. This is the 50mm size. It's just a dummy to test how the cutter is doing. So we'll mount this up. Take that out of the way. Now the tail stock has to go on. Okay. I'm machining I'm making steel discs to go between the tooth belt sections. So the steel disc will be clamped in between the two. And that's to, I'm going to file that back a bit. That's to keep the belt on track, just in case it's not tracking properly. This is the 3-inch one, or the 75mm, which has to be 75.1 plus 5 total diameter. So what have we got? 80.1, and I'm now 81.6. So 0.6 to come off in there first.
That's 81. 81 will do.
two discs there, so I have to split them. And chamfer the other side. That feels good. There we go, two discs. I've already done the 2 inch, that's the 3 inch. And I've still got the 4 inch to do. 2, 3, 4 and 5. So leave that with me. This is the 5 inch 125mm pulley in place. There's 4 plates because this is the last. This is the end pulley for the group. So there's one either side, one on the lower on the pack side to stop the belt from coming off on the pack side, and then one on the outside to stop the belt from coming off the other side. So there's 2 sets of pulleys, which means there's normally on the others I did 2, but on this one I have to do 4. So there's a pack of 4. Now the lathe will be turning in reverse because I'm using a boring bar upside down on my side of the tool post, so I can get the reach to come around to get that. Compound slide is parallel with the bed, so everything's being moved around. Currently I'm at 135. I've got to go down to 131. So let's see how we go, or how I go.
So it's a little bit at a time.
$133. I'll do it this way. It's supposed to be about 2.5, 3 mil. Four. That's 0. 4.3. We'll say 4. So 1.5 mil to come off each side. Uh, 2.6. That'll do for me. 2.6. Yep. Now I just need to clean the rest up. You don't need to know that or see that. I just changed out the chuck, took off the 3-jaw chuck and fitted my Gingery 4-jaw chuck. I'm machining the blanks and the washers, plates in between. I'm machining them out to a 5/8 centre. Well, the 50mm or the 2-inch one, 50mm or the 2-inch one fitted on the 3-jaw chuck, the other chuck, but the others won't. So I had to change out the chuck. I've just done that. Just started chucking up a 3-inch 75mm, and I had a bang. So what's that? Anyhow, this jaw wouldn't tighten up. It's because I broke the screw, the land where these clamps go. You could say a bearing cap. I broke the land for the bearing cap. So I've got to put the 3-jaw back in and make another one of these. If it isn't one thing, it's something else. Anyhow, I shall continue. Well, I'm cutting the left-hand thread on the new screw. Well, I shall continue with this to the end. So I've put that 4-jaw chuck screw in the milling machine. Did a square collet. This head up the top here is 15.8. The square has to be 10 or a little bit under 10. So 15.8 less 10 is 5.8. Divide that by 2, I get 2.9 off each side, and a square obviously. I've touched off and ready to roll.
And now take a cut.
Alright, you get the gist of it. You don't need to see the rest. I've brought these down to size. I had to go a little bit further than I first thought, because it's a 3/8 drive. It's not a 10mm drive, so it's 9.3 or 9.6 or something. I can't remember now. Probably averages about 9.6. So I had to run it through. a second time. Now that fits. I've just got to deburr it, pretty it up and put it back in the chuck, and we're off on those pulleys again. So there we go. Gingery mill wings again. Well, I'm back in business. I've repaired the screw to the 4-jaw chuck. So I'm back to boring the blanks and steel plates out to 0.625. That was a 12mm drill. Well, that's my baseline. Let's see where we're at. Okay, I've already put it at 625 from yesterday. I've got 109 thou to go. So let's get about 45 thou each radius out of it to start with. I've got the boring bar sticking out a bit further than I would like to, but the jaws hit the carriage if I'm not careful. So where are we? Where are we now? .28 thou, 14 radius. Let's do 10.
Four thou. Nice. Yes, 4 thou.
Beautiful. Lovely.